everyone, welcome to My Scrappy Ideas. Today I'm here with sketch 27 for the My Scraps and More sketchathon. And so right now I just have a rough draft of a sketch drawn out, and this is what I'm going to be creating today. And then I will make it up into an official sketch, and you'll be able to go to My Scraps and More and download that or onto my blog at tiggerscrapplace.blogspot.com. So today I have two photos that I'm working with. These are of my daughter. I have this notebook paper that's from Simple Stories. It's from the Harvest Lane collection. The pebbles from Me to You. I'm going to be using this kind of blue-green floral paper. And then this floral here, and this one is from Studio Calico. I have a piece of True Friend paper from Fancy Pants. I'm going to be using the black with the heart. And then this wood grain paper, and this also is from Studio Calico. So that's the paper that I'm going to be using, and as you can see, they're all pieces that I've used on previous layouts except for this one here from Studio Calico. And then I just pulled out some embellishments, and this one here is from a cut-apart sheet from the Amy Tangerine Stitched collection. So I just cut that apart. I'm going to try to fit that in. And I also have this little journaling card I may fit in, and it's from the Studio Calico cut-apart sheet. And the rest of this is from Simple Stories Homespun collection. So I have a couple of cards. I will probably cut these out and use for embellishments. I'm going to use one of these little label stickers. I'm planning on using this love for part of my title, the banner for some embellishments, and then I'll just pull some other pieces. So as you can tell, I pulled from several different companies, several different paper lines. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is that 6? I think 6 different paper lines. And so I hope you'll join us over at My Scraps and More Forum all of April 2015 for the sketchathon. There's a new sketch every day. And let's start creating this layout and see how it comes together. Okay, so the first thing I did was take my black background that had the hearts, and I just cut it down to where I had about 2.5, 3 inches of the wood grain showing at the top. And then I've taken this floral paper from Studio Calico, and I just took my envelope punch board and cut up at the top to make a little tab. And you'll notice in a little bit I had those stickers hunted out that was the file folder tabs, and I forgot that I was going to use those and punch this, and so I end up kind of I still use the file folder tab, but I move it up onto another piece. But my intentions were to put it onto that floral piece, but that's okay, it all worked out. Then I just had my Tim Holtz, the Vintage Photo Distress ink, and I went around all of the edges. And since I'm using paper and embellishments, everything is from so many different lines and different manufacturers. One of the things that you can do is to ink your edges with one color, and depending on your color scheme, it could be in the brown or the black. And so I kind of like this really warm black that the Vintage Photo is. But by inking all of the papers, it just gives something in common to all of them, so you're able to mix and match a lot of different manufacturers easier that way. And if you're following along with our challenges at the sketchathon, part of this challenge is that you need to use 3 or more collections on your layout, and so that little tip will help you. Okay, so I just took I had that strip. It was just a scrap strip of kind of a blue-green teal color, and I just punched it with my small scalloped punch, the one that I really like to use, and tucked that up underneath the black. I felt like I just needed a little bit more division in the page. It just needed a little bit of something, so that kind of helped harmonize it. And then this is the Simple Stories notebook paper that I had. And I wanted to use it up behind everything to just pull down so that I can put my title and all of my journaling on it, since I wouldn't be able to journal onto the black paper. And then I'm going to start pulling out all the different stickers from this homespun collection from Simple Stories. And again, any of your stickers, your embellishments, you want to go ahead and ink those as well to help everything marry together. These embellishments have a white background to them, where all my other paper is kind of an off-white. So by distressing them with the colored ink, it helps pull those into the layout better. But I'm okay using white and off-white together. It works most of the time. Design principles, of course, are made to follow, but then once you know some of the design principles, then you're better able to kind of break them and know when it's okay to break. And so I had this blue floral paper, and I was thinking that I was going to put a bigger block of it and build it up on the other floral paper, but then I decided I'm just going to mat this one photo with it, and that will be pretty much all that I do with that paper. But that's going to help pull that photo off that busy floral paper and away from the black background as well. It's just going to cause a separation. And then I kind of angled it, and I tucked the smaller one. It's kind of a square 4x4 photo, and I just kind of tucked it up underneath. And then I'm going to go ahead and commit and adhere all of that down. And now here's that love that I said I wanted to use as my title, and I do use it. I put it down kind of right where it's at. And you notice I went ahead and put that file folder tab. I tried to put it over the top of where I had punched, thinking, you know, maybe I could cover it up, but it didn't quite look right. So I just pulled it up to the notebook paper, which works really well. It just ties into the rest of the design. So it worked out. Now I'm just going back and I'm just pulling anything that I think is going to work. And this floral here, I had forgotten that I kind of wanted to tuck it up underneath the title and all of that. So I go ahead and pull it off. And I'm going to end up getting some pop dots and pop dotting that up so that my title will kind of nestle up underneath it. And I've been using these really thin pop dots, and I really like them. And then I can just trim them down for smaller pieces when I need them. So now I'm just kind of playing around, trying to figure out where I can put everything. I have this little house, and I wanted to use it. And I've moved it kind of all around the page trying to decide. I wasn't totally happy with it over here, but in the end I'm able to add several other items and several other stickers and embellishments over there. So in the end I'm kind of happy with it, but all the way through you'll see me kind of messing, and then I move away from it and go to another area, and then I'll kind of go back to it. Like right there I picked up that heart, and I thought, okay, well, is there some way I could kind of add something, because I knew it wasn't quite right, but I just really wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. So then I had these little that little 3x4 card that I had said I would cut those apart, and so I decided, yeah, if I could start building that up with that little label. And so I cut it out, and then the heart was kind of throwing me off because there's a heart on the house too, so I kept trying to cover it up. It was about the same size as the house, so then I go for the smaller house, and it's like, oh, it's too small, so I go back. And then I had just this little piece of yellow that was part of that cut apart card. And so I thought, well, if I tuck that down, everything that I'm doing over there is just to try to add more weight and more layers and more interest, because with everything that I've got going on with this little floral piece, the title, the jar, and then up at the top, all the different, even though that's just one sticker, all those different layers of that banner and stuff, they're all quite heavy in design. And so the one to the left, I'm just trying to get it to flow in and look like it belongs with on this layout. By itself it would have been okay, but because everything else is just so heavy in design, it really needed more. And so now I'm going ahead and adhering that love for part of my title. And since I had angled my notebook paper, it was throwing me off, and I kept kind of going sideways. And so I pulled out my graph ruler so that I could lay it up against the edges of my paper and stuff, so I could kind of get it straight. So here I go. I've pretty much got that right side the way that I wanted. I got that floral, and I have the title and the little jar. I will go back and add some enamel dots and hearts, and so I'm back over to the left because I'm pretty much done. Excuse me. I'm pretty much done except for that area, so I can't put it off anymore. I've got to just go ahead and make some decisions. And so I went ahead and I cut out another one of the labels because it was the one with the darker green, and so I felt like it went better over there. And then I didn't like the little bitty heart for sure right underneath the other one, and so I found another one of the green hearts, and I put it there along with a little label sticker that says love you. And so now I'm fairly happy with it. So now I'm just going to do those last little bits. I have all these little hearts, so I'm going to put those in each one of my clusters so that I have a repeat. And I apologize here, my camera shut off and I did not know. And so the very ending it cuts off, but it's just doing the enamel dots. And you'll be able to see those in the close-ups that I'm showing right now. I just added in my journaling and I stamped with the date roller stamp up at the top and put in some names and then added the enamel dots. So that wraps up this layout, and again I apologize that it cut off. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you real soon. Bye!